In this video, we're going to be working on forgiving ourselves. So we are usually our own worst critic, and we are usually the ones that criticize ourselves the most. So it's really important that we can forgive ourselves so that we can move on, because if we don't treat ourselves beautifully, nicely, all of that, who else will? Okay, we are the most important people to be treating ourselves kindly. That includes, not saying anything, mean to ourselves, not doing things to ourselves that are not the best for our own bodies and our own minds. So instead of having all that guilt though of what we have done in the past, let's move forward and let's work on forgiving ourselves. So the first thing I want you to do is to get a piece of paper and a pen, and I want you to think about a time maybe when you weren't so kind to yourself, and I want you to write down what emotions you're feeling in that situation, whereabouts it is in your body, and also what you rated out of 10. So 10 being the most unkind and 1 being not so bad. Okay, and then just copy what I say and what I do. So I'm just going to do a general tapping for this one, okay? So the first thing we do is tap on the side of our hand. So even though I struggle to forgive myself for all the things that I've done, I'm going to accept myself as much as I can. Even though I struggle to forgive myself for all the things I've done to my mind and to my body, I'm going to accept myself as much as I can. Even though I struggle to forgive myself, and sometimes I don't forgive myself and I put myself down, I'm going to accept myself as much as I can. And top of the head. I can't forgive myself. I find it really hard. I haven't treated myself very nicely. I've been unkind. I've said unkind thoughts to myself. I've said unkind things to myself. I've said many unkind things. And I haven't treated myself very nicely. All this stress and all these awful thoughts, all the awful things that I've said, I just can't forgive myself. I haven't treated myself very nicely. I've been very unkind to my mind and my body. I haven't been very kind to myself. Okay, so I want you to now take another deep breath and close your eyes and go back into that memory that you had before. And I want you to now rate it again out of 10. And also write down if any emotions have changed or if they've gone away. And also whereabouts it is in your body if that's changed as well. So now the next round of tapping, all I want you to do is to keep tapping and just talk through. So you could even talk and say the things that you've said to yourself or the things that you've done to yourself, okay? So for instance, myself, when I was 18, I really wanted to lose weight. And it was actually more coming from my partner. And he wanted me to be skinny is what he said to me. Now, I was actually, when I look back now, I was actually borderline being underweight. And I thought, yep, I want to be skinny. So what I did to myself was I actually ate light jelly for breakfast each morning. And I did that because there was hardly any calories, okay? But I know that my mind and my body wouldn't actually get the nutrients out of that. Well, I know that now. But I didn't care at the time because all I wanted to be was skinny. So for me, that is something that was very unkind to myself. And I know over the years I've said unkind things to about my body and about myself as well. So all those sorts of things, I want you to write those things down and start tapping on them and forgive yourself for doing that, because really at the time you were only doing the best that you could, perhaps with the information that you had. Perhaps you weren't feeling particularly happy or light at that time. It might have been a stressful time, and so the added stress that you were putting on yourself possibly didn't help. But now is a time to forgive yourself so that you can move forward, okay? It's all in the past. So I think it would be a good idea to continue tapping, make that list, and then you can tap on all of the different things that you've said to yourself or done to yourself that you haven't liked or that have been unkind. And work through your list. Now, if you'd like to go deeper and work on a deeper level and really resolve the underlying beliefs and the stresses that were causing some of those things, and stresses that maybe are still causing you to hold on to that stuff, then feel free to book in a session with me on my website at www.mindfulhealingtoolkit.com.au, and it's in the book now section.